Hello, beautifuls. I want to talk today a little bit about time, multidimensionality, and our concepts of it, and how what we think about time and multidimensionality affects our experience. It either empowers or disempowers us. So time is a mental concept. It's really an illusion. It's one of the ways we foster separation. But on a practical manner, what time does for us is it allows us to carve out chunks of our experience to help us understand, right? It's aligned with portions of the rhythm of nature. Yet beyond the human experience, time and space does not exist. And so for our 3D physical body, space and time has its purpose. Yet we are so much more than that. And we have access to multiple dimensions at the same time. And we have the choice to visit those dimensions consciously or unconsciously. We do it all the time. Now, I know that some people are not necessarily agreeing with that, and there's a lot of questions coming up, and that's what I want to talk about today. Have you ever been standing in line? Let's say it's the grocery store, and you all of a sudden find yourself transported to an event. Maybe it was 2 hours ago, 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago. It doesn't really matter, but it's in the past. And you're looking at this event and you see it in your mind's eye. It is like you are there. You are also feeling the feelings and the sensations, and familiar thoughts start coming. And in that moment, you have joined two dimensions. You have brought the past into the present moment with you. Now, when we do this consciously, it's an extremely powerful ability, because what we can do is we can bring those moments back to us, and we can change the lens in which we see it. So essentially, we can change that experience. We can't change the actual physical events, but we can change how we see it. We can change the energetic components of it, and in that place, we change our experience of it in the present and moving forward. I'll illustrate that. So you're standing in the line in the grocery store, and maybe you bring up an experience that was less than pleasant. You had a disagreement with somebody, and they maybe misinterpreted something that you said, and they reacted harshly. And you found yourself feeling hurt and maybe vulnerable and misunderstood. But now in the grocery store line, you are now back in that place, and you remember something about this person's past that you didn't have in your consciousness at that moment. And you understand why they became offended. Even though that was not your intention, you weren't remembering that aspect of their story. And in that place, there's relief, because you realize it had nothing to do with you. And not only is there relief, there's understanding and forgiveness in that person, for that person. And you have a completely different lens in which you're looking at that experience. And as you're visiting that dimension, there's a new overlay. And that overlay affects you in the present moment and the moments moving forward. Now, if we're not conscious of that, we will continue to revisit that dimension with the same lenses. And that's where we get sayings like, he's stuck in the past. And in that place, somebody is continually reliving experiences from the past in a non-conscious or unconscious way. And they have no power in this moment. They're essentially stuck. They cannot change their lens. We've also heard the expression, oh, they're living in the clouds. And when we are living with our conscious attention always in the future or in other dimensions, we're losing access to our power in the here and now. The ideal is to spiritually alchemize our consciousness in all of these dimensions, empowering who we are now. And the beautiful thing is when we do this work, we start shifting the energy for others around us to heal and expand. And we open the door for them to have the same experiences, to visit other dimensions consciously. And in this way, we are paving the way for a new earth. Do you see how powerful you are when you take away the limitation of time and say, oh, I can only dwell in one place at a time? And that's true. Our physical body can only be in one place at a time, and that gives us the appearance of separation if we only focus on that consciousness. But when we allow our consciousness to remain here in the moment and to visit other realms, that's when we are truly in our power. And as the consciousness of the earth and all of those inhabiting the earth is starting to raise, our access to those dimensions is very, very real. And we might, when we're not conscious of it, we might be tuning in to, our intuition might be tuning into dimensions, and we can feel that energy. We know something is coming, or we know something is real, and yet in the physical world, it has not shown up yet. And this is the beauty of trusting and knowing that we have the ability to bring that into the here and now. I thank you so much for listening to this perspective. For many, I know that this might be a new idea, and I thank you for listening and staying with me to the end if you did. If this resonated with you, I invite you to share with someone else that you think might benefit from it, to give it a like, a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, as always, it is my passion to immerse in these conversations and these discussions to expand our consciousness and our awareness of what is possible and what is happening, what is reality. Until we speak again, please be well.